Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about one of the most misunderstood words in relationships: boundaries. Many people hear the word boundary and immediately think distance, coldness, control, rejection. But healthy boundaries aren't walls. They're doors. Doors that allow love to come in while protecting your peace. For years, I believed that setting boundaries meant I wasn't loving enough. That if I said no, if I asked for space, if I expressed my needs, people would think I was selfish. Maybe you've felt that too. Today I want to help you replace guilt with confidence, because healthy boundaries don't destroy relationships, they strengthen them. When I first became a stepmom, my one and only goal was for everyone to be happy. I had this picture in my mind of what a perfect blended family looked like: constant harmony, effortless smiles, and a home filled with a kind of peaceful, joyful energy. I genuinely believed that if I just tried hard enough, if I was giving enough, I could create that reality for us. I saw myself as the glue, the person whose role it was to smooth over any cracks and ensure the entire structure held together beautifully and seamlessly. So, if someone needed something, my answer was always, unequivocally, yes. It didn't matter what it was. Can you pick up the kids from school today, even though it's my day? Yes, of course. Can we host an impromptu sleepover for their friends tonight? Yes, absolutely. I became the family's go-to person for every last-minute request, every forgotten permission slip, every unexpected need. I saw each yes as a deposit into the bank of family happiness, a small sacrifice for the greater good of our unit. If plans changed, which they did constantly, I adapted. I became a master of flexibility. A quiet weekend I had been looking forward to with my partner could turn into a full house with the kids and their friends at a moment's notice. My personal plans, my need for downtime, my own schedule, they all felt secondary. I would just take a deep breath, push my own needs aside, and pivot. I told myself this was the price of admission, that being adaptable was a core requirement of the stepmom role. I prided myself on being the calm in the storm, the one who could handle anything thrown her way without complaint. And if I felt uncomfortable, if a decision was made that I didn't agree with, or if a comment stung, I stayed quiet. I would feel this physical sensation, a knot in my throat, the words wanting to come out, but I would swallow them down. I was so afraid of being seen as the difficult or wicked stepmom. I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to create conflict. So I would just nod, maybe force a small smile, and retreat into myself, telling myself it wasn't a big deal, that it was better to keep the peace. I thought being a good stepmom meant always putting everyone else first. It was a definition I had absorbed from society, from stories, and from my own deep-seated desire to be loved and accepted in this new role. I equated self-sacrifice with love. The more I gave, the more I bent, the more I silenced my own needs, the better a stepmom I believed I was becoming. Eventually, inevitably, I became exhausted. It wasn't a sudden collapse, but a slow creeping erosion of my energy, my joy, my very sense of self. I started to feel a low-grade bitterness simmering just beneath the surface. I'd find myself sighing heavily while doing the dishes after a chaotic dinner I hadn't wanted to host. I'd feel a flash of anger when my partner agreed to another schedule change without consulting me. These were the signals, the little red flags of resentment. My body was keeping score, even if my mind was trying to ignore it. The strange thing was, this pressure wasn't coming from the outside. My family never demanded perfection. They weren't asking me to erase myself for their comfort. No, the pressure was coming from me. I was the one who expected it from myself. I was my own harshest critic, the enforcer of these impossible standards. I had built my own cage of shoulds and musts, and I was the one locking the door every single day. One day, after a particularly draining weekend where I had said yes to everything and ended up feeling completely invisible, I realized something profound. I was sitting alone in the quiet of the house after everyone was asleep, and the feeling wasn't peace, it was a hollow ache. And this thought landed with absolute clarity. Love without boundaries becomes resentment. All my giving, all my adapting, all my silence. It wasn't creating more love. It was slowly poisoning it. It was building a wall of quiet bitterness, brick by brick, between me and the people I cared about most. I was giving from a place of depletion, not from a place of genuine, sustainable love. That realization was my turning point. It was the moment I understood that to truly love my family and to build the happy, healthy home I dreamed of, I had to first learn how to protect my own well-being. I had to learn to build doors where I had been building walls of resentment and gates where I had left myself wide open. It wasn't about giving less. It was about learning to give from a place of fullness, not from a place of emptiness. That was the beginning of a new journey. So what exactly is a boundary? It's a word we hear a lot, but its true meaning can often get lost in translation, especially within the complex dynamics of a blended family. Let's clear the air. At its core, a boundary is simply a clear, kind expression of what you need to stay emotionally, mentally, and even physically healthy. Think of it not as a wall you build to shut people out, but as a gate you install, one that you control. It's the line you draw that says, "This is me, this is where I end, and you begin." It's your personal instruction manual for how others can best interact with you, respect you, and love you in a way that feels good and sustainable for you. It's about creating a space where you can breathe, where you can be your authentic self without feeling constantly drained or resentful. A common and damaging misconception is that setting a boundary is an attempt to control other people. It absolutely isn't. It's not about telling your partner, your stepkids, or their other parent what they must do, think, or feel. That's a recipe for conflict and frustration, because the fundamental truth is, you cannot control someone else's behavior. You can't make them be more considerate. You can't force them to agree with you, and you can't dictate their emotional reactions. Trying to do so is like trying to command the tide. It's an exhausting and fruitless battle against the natural autonomy of another human being. The desire to control often stems from fear. Fear of being hurt, fear of conflict, fear of not being enough. But boundaries are not born from fear. They are born from self-respect. Instead, setting a boundary is about taking radical responsibility for yourself. It's about turning your focus inward. It's a profound act of self-love and self-preservation. It's looking at a situation and asking, what is within my control here? The answer is always and only you. Your choices, your words, your reactions, your decisions. It's about managing your own energy, protecting your own peace, and honoring your own needs. When you shift from trying to manage others to managing yourself, everything changes. You reclaim your power from external circumstances and place it back where it belongs, within you. This is the pivot from victimhood to empowerment. Let's repeat that, because it's the cornerstone of this entire practice. You cannot control someone else's behavior. You can't control if they raise their voice, if they disregard your request, if they have a negative reaction. But you can always decide how you respond. You can decide to calmly restate your need. You can decide to walk away from a conversation that has become disrespectful. You can decide not to engage in a circular argument. You can decide to let go of the need for their approval. Your response is your sovereign territory. That's where your power lives. It's not in the futile attempt to change them, but in the liberating act of choosing your own next step. So, what do these healthy boundaries actually look and sound like in everyday life? They aren't aggressive demands or ultimatums. They are often quiet, simple, and firm statements of fact. They are I statements that take ownership of your feelings and needs without blaming or accusing. Let's break it down into a few key areas. First, there are boundaries around your time and energy. As a bonus mom, your time can feel like it belongs to everyone but you. A time boundary protects this precious resource. It sounds like, I'm happy to help with that project, but I can't do that today. I have availability on Thursday afternoon. Or, I need 30 minutes to myself to decompress after work before I can switch into family mode. It's not a rejection. It's a realistic assessment of your capacity. Next are emotional boundaries. This is about recognizing that your feelings are your own, and other people's feelings are theirs. You are not responsible for managing everyone's happiness. An emotional boundary sounds like, I can see you're very upset right now, and I want to understand, but I need a little time to think before we continue this conversation. Or, I understand your perspective and mine is different. This creates space for two different experiences to exist without one having to be wrong. In our modern world, digital boundaries are crucial. This relates to when and how you are available via text, email, or social media. Constant connectivity can be a huge source of stress, especially when co-parenting communication is involved. A digital boundary might be, I check and respond to co-parenting emails between 5 and 6 p.m. on weekdays. If it's a true emergency, please call. This prevents you from being in a constant state of high alert and allows you to be fully present in your own life. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, are the boundaries you set with yourself. These are the promises you make to honor your own well-being. This is the foundation upon which all other boundaries are built. It sounds like the internal commitment. I will not sacrifice my sleep to finish this non-urgent task. Or, I will take a walk during my lunch break because it clears my head. Or, I will not speak negatively about myself today. These internal boundaries are the ultimate act of taking responsibility for your own health and happiness. They are the quiet, consistent choices that build a life of integrity and inner peace, one moment at a time. Notice something? There's no anger, no blame, just clarity. Many stepmoms are afraid that saying no means being rejected. We worry about being seen as the evil stepmother, so we overcompensate, we overgive, we overexplain, we overfunction. We keep the peace at any cost. But here's the truth. Keeping the peace is not the same as living in peace. One avoids conflict, the other creates health. Walls keep everyone out. Boundaries let the right things in. Walls say, don't come near me. Boundaries say, I'd love a relationship with you, but it needs to be healthy. Walls isolate. Boundaries protect. One comes from fear, the other comes from wisdom. Now that we've explored the what and the why of boundaries, let's get really practical. Theory is wonderful, but it's in the daily application that transformation truly happens. So, let's talk about a few tangible, actionable examples of what healthy boundaries can look like in your life as a bonus mom. Think of these not as rigid rules, but as starting points. Invitations to explore what you need to feel whole, respected, and joyful within your family. We'll break down 5 key areas where you can begin to implement these practices today. Let's begin with boundary number 1. Your time. This is perhaps one of the most challenging, yet most crucial boundaries to establish. As a bonus mom, it can feel like your time is constantly being pulled in a million directions. Work, your partner, the kids' schedules, household management, and maybe even navigating co-parenting logistics. It's easy to lose yourself in the shuffle. A time boundary is your declaration that your time is a valuable, finite resource, and you have the right to allocate some of it specifically for yourself. This isn't about selfishness, it's about sustainability. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and protecting your personal time is how you refill that cup. It's okay to have hobbies that light you up. It's essential to nurture your friendships that existed before this family dynamic. It's vital to carve out quiet time just to think, to breathe, to simply be. Your entire identity doesn't have to revolve around your blended family. You are still you, and that you needs and deserves to be nurtured. Gap. A practical way to state this boundary could be, I'm blocking out Tuesday evenings from 7 to 9 for my pottery class. I'm really looking forward to it, so I'll need to be completely unplugged during that time. Now, you might get some pushback. It could sound like, "But that's the only night we have for a family movie," or "Can't you just do that some other time? We need you." It's often not meant to be malicious, but it can still trigger guilt. Your response can be gentle but firm. Try something like, "I understand that family time is important, and I love our movie nights. Let's find another time for that this week. This class is a commitment I've made to myself for my own well-being, and I need to honor it." Boundary number 2, your emotional responsibility. This is a big one. As caring, empathetic women, we often take on the role of the family's emotional barometer. We feel a deep-seated need to make sure everyone is happy, calm, and getting along. But the truth is, you are not responsible for everyone's happiness. An emotional boundary means recognizing where your feelings end and someone else's begin. It's understanding that you can be supportive and loving without absorbing and trying to fix every negative emotion in the household. Your stepchild's frustration about a school project, your partner's stress from work, the lingering tension from a co-parenting disagreement. These are their emotions to process. Your job is to hold space for them, not to carry the weight of them. You can love people deeply, with your whole heart, without carrying emotions that belong to them. This is a profound act of respect for both yourself and for them, as it trusts them to manage their own feelings. Gap. A way to communicate this boundary might be to say to your partner, "I can see you're really stressed about work right now, and I'm here to listen if you want to talk. But I can't fix this for you, and I'm going to protect my own peace by not taking on that stress myself." A common reaction might be disappointment or even an accusation. "I thought we were a team. I feel like you're abandoning me when I need you." This is where your compassionate response is key. You could say, "We are absolutely a team, and I'm right here by your side. My listening and supporting you is how I'm being a teammate. But carrying your stress for you doesn't help either of us. I can support you best when I'm calm and centered." Boundary number 3, respectful communication. This boundary is the foundation of a healthy home environment. It dictates the of your interactions. It means that disagreements are inevitable, but disrespect, yelling, name-calling, or dismissive behavior is not acceptable from anyone, including you. This boundary protects the emotional safety of the home. It ensures that even when you're discussing difficult topics, the conversation remains constructive and honors the dignity of everyone involved. It's about creating a culture where it's safe to disagree. It's okay to pause a conversation if emotions are running high. In fact, it's one of the most respectful things you can do. You can say, "I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, and I'm not able to communicate clearly. I'd like us to continue this when we're both calmer." The pushback here can be insistent. You might hear, "No, we need to solve this right now," or "You're just running away from the problem." This is an attempt to force a resolution when one or both parties are not in a state to find one. Your response should reinforce the boundary while reassuring them of your commitment. Try, "I am not running away. I am committed to resolving this with you. But for us to do that effectively, I need a 20-minute break to clear my head. I promise we will come back to this. Our conversation is important to me, and I want to give it my best." Boundary number 4, your marriage. In a blended family, the couple's relationship is the central pillar that holds everything else up. If that pillar weakens, the entire structure becomes unstable. Therefore, protecting your marriage isn't just for you, it's for the health and security of the entire family. This boundary means intentionally and unapologetically prioritizing your connection with your partner. It means carving out dedicated time for just the two of you, free from discussions about logistics, kids, or ex-partners. It means creating a sacred space for your relationship to breathe and grow. You must protect couple time. It isn't selfish, it's healthy leadership. Gap. A way to set this boundary could be, let's make every Friday night after 8 p.m. our protected time. We can put our phones away, and agree not to talk about household problems, just connect as a couple. The pushback might come from the kids, or even from your own internal guilt. But what if the kids need us? Or it feels indulgent to just focus on ourselves. These feelings are normal. Your response is a reaffirmation of the family's core strength. You can say to your partner, "Investing in us is the best gift we can give the kids." A strong, connected partnership creates a secure and loving home for them. They will be okay for a few hours, and we will be better parents for it. And finally, boundary number 5. Your well-being. This boundary encompasses your physical, mental, and spiritual health. It's the non-negotiable commitment to your own basic needs. In the complex world of a blended family, it's often the first thing to be sacrificed. We skip meals, lose sleep, stop exercising, and let go of the practices that ground us. This boundary is about reclaiming those fundamentals. It's recognizing that your health is not a luxury item to be attended to only when everything else is perfect. It is the very engine that allows you to show up in your life. Sleep, exercise, prayer, time with God, reading, a quiet walk. These aren't luxuries. They are essential maintenance for your soul. Gap. A simple way to state this boundary is to make it a non-negotiable part of your schedule. You might say, "I need at least 7 hours of sleep to function well, so I'll be heading to bed at 10 p.m., even if the house isn't perfectly tidy." The pushback is almost always internal, the voice that says, "There's too much to do, I can't rest yet." Or it might be external, an expectation that you'll always be available. The response is a powerful reframe. Instead of seeing it as taking something away, see it as giving something essential. You can tell yourself and others if needed, "Prioritizing my rest allows me to be a more patient and present mother and partner tomorrow." These aren't selfish acts of indulgence. They're investments in the woman your family needs you to be, a woman who is resilient, centered, and whole. This is one of the questions I'm asked most often. The answer is simple. Some people won't, especially if they're used to you having none. Healthy boundaries often disappoint people who benefited from your lack of them. That's okay. Remember, you are responsible for being kind, not for making everyone happy. There's a difference. The goal isn't becoming harder. The goal is becoming healthier. Kind words, gentle tone, clear expectations, open heart, strong boundaries. Those things can all exist together. In fact, that's what mature love looks like. Remember these 5 truths. Boundaries protect relationships. Boundaries protect your peace. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries allow love to flourish. And boundaries help you become the healthiest version of yourself. This week, I want to challenge you. Choose one small boundary you've been afraid to set. Practice saying it with kindness, without apologizing for having needs. Because your peace matters, and when you protect your peace, you bring more peace into your family. In our next lesson, we'll talk about one of the hardest realities of blended family life: learning to let go of what you cannot control. Until then, remember, you are not just a stepmom. You are a bonus mom. And bonus means bringing something valuable that wasn't there before.